text that exists as early as 90 AD, which is only about 50 something years, about 57 years after the death of Jesus Christ. And so we also have early church writings from believers, the Ummah of Jesus Christ, that date to the same first century, from the first century all the way down until the 5th century, that basically quote almost every single text in the Bible that we have today, saying the exact same thing. So if you believe any historical work, you have to believe the authenticity of the Bible, because there's more evidence for this Bible, the literal and historicity of this book, than any other book in history.
That's true. Amen.
Next question.
First of all, I have a few points.
So, in y'all opinion, how many believe that that's true? How many believe that in that Bible is more truth than any Bible there ever existed? He might be right, because I'm going to sit here and tell you that I still don't know everything. I don't know everything just because I read a lot of books in my life. I'm still learning, and I would love to learn more. That's the reason why I read y'all this poem before I sat here and talked, because I don't want nobody thinking that I'm sitting here bashing anybody or criticizing or judging anything. I'm really not. I'm also trying to get an understanding of why a lot of people want to sit here and get you to believe a lot of things that are not true, when you yourself have done your own research and have come up with your own conclusions. Like, it's just crazy what a lot of people want to make you believe, when in reality, you got the truth right there in your face. It's right there. A lot of truth. Like, a lot of us got the truth facing us. And I don't know if that we're scared and we run from it. I don't know if that we don't care about it or what it is, but we got the truth right there in front of us. So, like, I don't know if y'all think he's saying the truth or not, but to me, I believe that he's saying the truth in a certain way. Is he adding to it? Is he taking from it? That's what I'm not sure about right there. I would have to do more research on my own. See where I'm coming from? And I would suggest that y'all do the same thing. Just don't go by what every preacher or every pastor says. Yes, a lot of them speak on what the Bible is saying, but a lot of them also, I've peeped and I've noticed that, add and take from it just so that you can convert, just to convince you to. That's my opinion, though. I don't want y'all to feel offended or none of that. But y'all got to give me 1 minute so that I could play this real quick, because I don't want to get a strike. I don't care about the claim, but I don't want a strike. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purpose such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of your shorty Racheal and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. All right, everybody, let's continue. Let's hear what she got to say.
I have to say, you said the society is teaching. Do you have any kids? Your kids? You're saying society is teaching your kids to dress pervertedly. Then shouldn't you, as a father, teach? It's your responsibility to teach your kids that dressing like this is wrong. So you should teach your kids.
Y'all just heard me say that. A lot of these kids are smart. It's just that they're easily manipulated and get guided the wrong path. Like, they're easily manipulated and are guided through the wrong path. Telling y'all. And a lot of them don't really know the Bible like that, They're learning. They're just learning as they get older because they get curious. We was kids at one point. Put yourselves in their shoes. Flip the script for 1 second.
Also, second one.
But I'm not saying that she's right. I'm not saying that she's all the way right on everything that, you know, the way, everything that she's saying. I have my opinion. She has her opinion. And they're both, you know.
I have another thing to say.
Am I still listening to you?
Yeah.
If it's my right to be able to teach my kids, then I should be able to go to the school system, because unfortunately the laws of the land force every child to have an education.
Is he wrong?
I think it's wrong. If you feel it's my position to teach my kids, then the government shouldn't intrude on whether my kids have an education or not.
Education.
I'm saying if it's my right to teach my kids, then the educational system shouldn't force their education on my kids. If I send my kids to school, they're spending 8 hours with somebody else, and when they come home, they're only spending maybe 2 hours with me. In your mind and estimation, who do you think will have more influence, 8 hours or 2?
You know, there's homeschooling.
Right. So the homeschooling now, they're trying to force a certain curriculum and education on people. And when you homeschool people, you have Children's Aid Society checking up on you. You have the government agency checking up, making sure that you're
So in your opinion, is he wrong?
teaching certain things to your kids. Now, if your child decides to say, I identify with a girl and my religion says, no, that's wrong, I'm going to teach them otherwise, according to the law of the land, they can take my child away. Is that fair?
What is y'all opinion? What do y'all think? Do y'all think he's completely wrong on everything he just said? He's right on a lot of the stuff he just said. He's right. Because if you try to teach your kid something other than them being straight, or what marriage is really about and stuff like that, right? While you're homeschooling your kid and doing this and that, and I know because I'm homeschooling my child. I got one in private school, one homeschooled, and another one about to start school. Like, you have everybody in the government in your business trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to tell you that this is not right, that this is wrong, that you're not allowed to do this. This is why you need to learn. This is my opinion now, what I'm about to say. This is why you need to learn your rights. You need to learn your laws. You need to learn these bills that they're passing. You need to learn your rights, first of all. You need to learn your amendments, because it's not just 10 of them. I believe it's like 160 or 180, if I'm not wrong. Y'all need to learn your amendments first. All of them, not just the first 10. But anyways, that's on y'all if y'all want to learn it or not. I'm not telling y'all what to do. But what y'all need to do is a different thing compared to what y'all want to do. That's not on me, that's on y'all. But there's a lot of people out here that do know their amendments. Like in the beginning, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I didn't know my amendments at all. I just knew the first 5. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But now I know there's 180 of them. I'm learning them little by little, trying to remember them. They're not easy to remember at all. But they also, like, a lot of the amendments have a lot to do with these laws that are, you know, they have passed by throughout the years, throughout centuries, and much more. Like, y'all really gotta do y'all research and re-educate yourselves, because believe it or not, these churches and the government and our money and stuff like that go hand in hand. I don't really want to talk much about it, but do y'all research. Do y'all research, guys. But he's not saying nothing that's not true right there. He didn't tell her anything that's a lie. Like, he was telling her a lot of facts. And if y'all don't believe what I'm saying, go do y'all research. I don't mean that I'm going to convert to whatever he wants me to convert. Yeah, he's saying a lot of facts on what he's saying.
Says, no, that's wrong. I'm going to teach them otherwise. According to the law of the land, they can take my child away. Is that fair? Because what you said is that I should, as a
Y'all didn't peep how she was stuck on the question? Is that fair? For example, right now, for those of you that don't know it, right? The Biden administration is telling the whole world, right? It's telling the public schools that if they don't allow the boys that feel as though that they're girls into the girls' bathroom, they will take away free lunches. They will take away all the free lunches they have for the kids. But do you know that that's going to start a whole little civil war between a lot of parents and a lot of teachers and the government and much more, for the simple fact that there's going to be a lot of problems from the grades K through 12 with that situation, especially in high school. And y'all know I'm not wrong, especially in middle school. Middle school now, these 13-year-olds, these 12-year-olds, elementary school, they know more about sex than what me and you know. If you get mad because of what I'm saying, that's not my fault. But y'all got to sit here and step outside the circle for one quick second and look inside of the circle that you're in. Listen to what these kids are talking about. Listen to what they're saying. Listen. The other day I heard one of my son's friend out here talk about that he wasn't allowed to go back in the house, right? He wasn't allowed to go back in the house until her friend left. What type of mom is you? Where's your dad? He works a lot. And if I say something, they get to fighting, they get to arguing. Some of you moms ain't shit. Some of you moms ain't shit. Because at the end of the day, to say something like that to your child, you don't deserve your child. Because if you put another man before your child, what does that make you? To me, in my eyes, it makes you a monster. And that's my opinion. In my eyes, it makes you a monster. And then those be the type of moms that sit here and call a dad that tries to be in their child's life a deadbeat. But how can you call your baby dad a deadbeat, right? When you're the reason that this father cannot be in your child's life. You're the reason. He tries to do something, but because he's with somebody else, you scream the R word, or you scream, he abused me, he hit me, or he's going to get me beat up. I mean, listen, that makes it hard for a lot of the females out here that are actually getting abused. Makes it very hard for those victims out there that can become survivors. When y'all females out here lie on a man just to keep them away from your son that you don't want to be with, or the daughter that you don't want to be with. Like, make that make sense, please. Can anybody out here please make that make sense? I don't know what. Listen, let's keep going. Y'all opinion, let me know what y'all think. Was he wrong on what he just said?
as a parent, I should be teaching my child what to believe. But I'm telling you, I agree with you on that, except this government is forcing their beliefs. So how does it affect me? When you start seeing a culture pushing their agenda on the culture, it affects all of us. And now I can't even teach my kid what I want to teach it. I have to teach my kid what they want to teach my kids. So whose child is this? Is it mine or is it the government's?
Is he lying? When it comes to your child and you're put between that nail and the wall, and you see these parents out here fight time after time, y'all seen video after video surface through social media, but y'all want to sit here and post just the negative stuff or talk about somebody or anybody on YouTube that's probably doing a little better than you, too worried about that person's pocket when you could be sitting here fighting for your own child. But guess what? You're going by what the government is saying. You're saying that they're right. But have you stepped outside that box? Have you stepped outside that box, or are the strings still attached to your back, your arms, your legs, and your neck?
The government curriculum is teaching us math.
Listen.
Math, science, history, biology, things like it's not like a religion. They're not saying, like, so they're saying 1 + 1 is 2, and they want you to tell the kid 1 plus 1 is 2.
Do you think that's, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go on.
Do you think that's the only, I know you're 13 and you're doing a really good job, but did you ever have health class, phys ed class, where they teach you about the physical anatomy, where they teach you about sexuality? Have you ever?
Did you just peep the curriculums? Let's rewind that again real quick. Did y'all peep the only curriculum she says they're being taught in school?
1 plus 1 is 2, and they want you to tell the kid 1 plus 1 is 2.
Do you think that's, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go on.
Do you think that's the only, I know you're 13 and you're doing a really good job, but did you ever have health class, phys ed class, where they teach you about the physical anatomy, where they teach you about sexuality? Have you ever had a class like that?
Yes.
Okay, so I thought you said they only teach you math.
They teach us subjects, just math, history, biology, things like that. Basic things.
So how did sexuality get into this? Because you were asking me, what does it have to do with me? And I'm telling you, I told you my answer. I don't know if it was adequate, but that's my answer. It has a lot to do with me because they're not just if it was just teaching math and English, cool. But they're teaching sexuality, they're teaching values, and that is a philosophy. And if you look at the dictionary, the value.
I'm gonna be very honest. Like I told y'all, I gotta give it to this preacher. He's a street preacher. Like, just because I'm agreeing with him, and I'm gonna remind you, a lot of you, just because I'm agreeing with what he's saying doesn't mean that I'm part of a community, I'm part of a cult, I'm part of this religion, or I'm part of whatever it is that they're doing. I'm agreeing with what he's saying because it's true. It's factual. You can actually research this yourself and figure it out. Now, if he was wrong, I'm going to sit here and tell you, he's wrong. Listen, man, this man is wrong. I don't know this man from a can of paint. I found this video on my Facebook. See where I'm coming from? And I just like that the way they had the little debate, how they was, able to have this little conversation with, and him being able to explain to her and how we could see what our kids is learning nowadays and what their responses are back to us. Like, it's so much that you can learn from this video alone. And you got to give it to him because not a lot of preachers speak the way that he's speaking. Shout out to those preachers, that want to deliver a message like this. But just because somebody agrees with somebody doesn't mean that they're, going to be a part of whatever that person is doing. And just because somebody just because somebody disagrees with somebody doesn't mean that they're beefing with that person. Just means I disagree with what you just said. We could agree to disagree, or we could disagree to agree. Whatever. However you want it. Whatever floats your boat.
Values on sexuality, values on gender, values on belief systems, values on equity, what it means to be a woman and a male and a woman. Because I'm sure that you probably believe that there's not just a male and a female. You probably believe there's a lot of genders. I don't know what you believe exactly, but you probably feel that homosexuality is just as okay as heterosexuality because of the education that you're brought in, which is going contrary to your Islamic beliefs.
Yep.
Because your Islamic beliefs do not teach that homosexuality is okay. Am I right?
Babe. Question, right? I'm on a live real quick, but I just want you to tell me if you agree or disagree. She's a Muslim 13-year-old gay little girl, right? And he's responding. He gave her a lot of good response back.
Contrary to your Islamic beliefs.
Okay, what do you believe? What do you think about what he says? The camera's off.
It means to be a woman and a male and a woman. And if you look at the dictionary, the values on sexuality, values on gender, values on belief systems, values on equity, what it means to be a woman and a male and a woman. Because I'm sure that you probably believe that there's not just a male and a female. You probably believe there's a lot of genders. I don't know what you believe exactly, but you probably feel that homosexuality is just as okay as heterosexuality because of the education that you're brought in, which is going contrary to your Islamic beliefs. Because your Islamic beliefs do not teach that homosexuality is okay. Am I right?
One thing.
She's about to excuse it. What do you think? Hold on, baby. Hold on 1 second. Fast. So, what is your opinion? Like, was he wrong on what he just said? For those that don't really know the religion like that, because I know you know it from head to toe.
He said, "What is your why is this at the third?" But he said, "Gosh, I just hard for you to hear what he's saying."
Look, I'm gonna put it right here.
It said, you asked her questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it from the